At long last, a trailer for How to Train Your Dragon's third and final entry, The Hidden World, has been released. Fans have finally gotten their first glimpse of what awaits them in this epic, culminating chapter. But there are a number of questions raised by this trailer and some darker implications on where exactly this story might go. What will happen to our heroes? Will we witness the end of the Age of Dragons? And when did Hiccup get that amazing beard? Let's take a look and see what hidden secrets we can discover about the Hidden World. Before we get started, make sure to click that subscribe button. That way you'll stay up to date with all the awesome content we're sharing daily here on Screen Rant.
There were dragons when I was a boy.
The end of the Dragon Age. Cressida Cowell's first novel in the series opens with Hiccup's first-person reminiscence that there were dragons when I was a boy, suggesting that the time of dragons had come to an end by the time the story began. In an interview with Slash Film, director Dean DeBlois cited this line as a huge inspiration for the Hidden World, stating that there was something wonderful and bittersweet in the notion. This could reflect on the direction that the story takes.
Our story changed the world forever.
Hiccup and Toothless part ways. Say it ain't so. As much as we don't even want to think about how heartbreaking this would be, the Hidden World's trailers suggest both Hiccup and Toothless are growing older, and with the introduction of a romantic interest for Toothless, they may no longer need to rely on one another for support. Director Dean DeBlois has used the word bittersweet multiple times when describing the pair's relationship, hinting that this may be the end for our heroes. It may hurt to watch, but if their separation is necessary for their well-being, we'll accept it, but we won't like accepting it.
I've hunted every Night Fury except yours. Hand him over.
The hidden themes of the Hidden World. The How to Train Your Dragon series has never shied away from deep and thoughtful themes about growing up and embracing your calling. But with The Hidden World, there may be a more overt theme regarding tolerance. Director Dean DeBlois drops some hints about the film's new villain, Grimmel, and what his motivations are. Grimmel has made his name from wiping dragons off the planet. He sees them as an inferior species and can't stand the idea of a Viking colony in which dragons and humans coexist peacefully. It's a prospect DeBlois states is personally offensive to Grimmel. The Hidden World looks to address the dangers of prejudice in a compelling way.
Did she just disappear?
Time jumps. Hiccup has a beard now? What is this new devilry? But wait, he doesn't have a beard in that clip, or in that clip. What's going on here? Director Dean DeBlois revealed in a recent interview that the beard won't play a prominent part in the main story, which takes place about a year after the events of How to Train Your Dragon 2. The story will, however, jump forward in time to reveal the epic, grown-up version of Hiccup in all his bearded glory. DeBlois wouldn't go into more details for fear of spoiling the story, but color us intrigued.
And know that you've taken your rightful place at the table of kings.
Hiccup's fate. So we all know about Hiccup's fancy beard, but what about Hiccup himself? According to Dean DeBlois, the Hidden World will be the culmination of Hiccup's coming of age. Over the course of 2 films, we've seen him grow from being an awkward kid to a capable leader. Now he's the chief of his village, and there's a lot riding on his shoulders. In an interview with Collider, DeBlois stated, both Hiccup and Toothless are now chiefs of their respective tribes. And it's a dueling story where you have both characters trying to do what's right for their kind, and an eventual outcome where Hiccup is able to stand on his own.
We have to fight for their freedom.
The truth about the Hidden World. We might not know exactly what this so-called hidden world is at this point in time, but from what we can tell from the trailers, it appears to be a lush paradise where dragons can live in harmony without fear of being hunted down and eradicated. While at first glance this sounds just peachy, its existence makes one thing clear. Despite Hiccup and his village's best efforts, they'll never be able to help the larger world overcome their prejudices against dragons. The need for dragons to disappear into this new world as their only way to find peace might be sad, but at least it's the hopeful kind of sad.
Whatever comes, keep hitting the mountain.
Drago. Drago. You didn't think we forgot about this grumpy old curmudgeon, did ya? A quick refresher course. Drago was the primary antagonist of How to Train Your Dragon 2, intent on conquering the world with his incredible army made up of both humans and dragons. While Hiccup and Toothless managed to defeat Drago, his current whereabouts are unknown. In a 2015 interview with Collider, Dean DeBlois suggested Drago may have a big part to play in the Hidden World. According to DeBlois, you'll have to wait until the 3rd film to actually see where Drago's character goes. He's a lot more complex than he's presented in this 2nd installment. But what about Toothless? So where does all this leave our favorite Night Fury, Toothless? While we don't even want to think about it, we have to address the fact that the Hidden World will be the final chapter of the story. This opens up a whole bunch of risks for these characters, including, dare we say it, death. While we don't think the How to Train Your Dragon story will end in such a tragic manner, it is a possibility. And while we don't want it to happen, what better conclusion to the story than with Toothless sacrificing himself to save Hiccup? You know what? Let's just not even think about it.
Don't worry, bud. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you.
Make 'em cry. Okay, I guess we're gonna be thinking about it after all. In an apparent complete disregard of the important life lessons learned from Singing in the Rain's Make 'em Laugh sequence, director Dean DeBlois has made his intentions behind How to Train Your Dragon, the Hidden World story, clear. He wants to make us cry. In an interview with Slash Film, he stated, "My favorite types of movies are those that kind of have that somewhat disarming and very poignant emotional place to go that takes you along with them. I hope to bring our audience to tears." And while it might hurt to hear, the culminating chapter in any trilogy always tends to pack an emotional punch. The end of the road. Regardless of what happens to all of our favorite characters, one thing is clear. This is the end of their story. Dean DeBlois' plan from the beginning was to make this story a trilogy with a definitive beginning, middle, and end. Much like with the original Star Wars trilogy or The Lord of the Rings. This way, the story and its characters wouldn't overstay their welcome and would be all the more satisfying as a result. In a world of expanded universes and countless spin-offs, this seems like the best possible move for what will hopefully go down as one of the great movie trilogies of all time.
Great! I'll do the cooking.
So what do you think, How to Train Your Dragon fans? Will the Hidden World be a satisfying conclusion to this trilogy? Do you think Hiccup or Toothless or even another character might bite the dust? Let us know in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to Screen Rant for more great videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you at the movies.